Welcome to Airborne on 88.5 FM and staugustine.com, bringing interesting people from your world so you can stay dialed into your community and the folks who make it tick. We have a very special guest here on Airborne today. Kimberly Razor is an author and has just written a sci-fi thriller, can I call it?
Yes, you can call it that.
Ooh, called The Family Bones. Hold up your...
Actually, there's the first copy of it and then the second.
Oh, wow. What's the difference?
I actually, I wasn't real happy with the original copy. It looks great online. It's really, really spooky and eye-catching.
Yeah, because it glows,
yeah. But when I got it into print, it just wasn't as clear, so I went with a new design. My artist, Maggie Barra, did, I asked her, I said, do you have anything with a really cool, scary, creepy old house in the background? And she shot me over this, and I went, wow! I said, that's perfect. So, because the story takes place in an old house that's inherited to the family. It's been there, the actual property's been there hundreds of years. So it's a really, really creepy old house.
Ooh, very cool. Now, you have not always been an author. You've held other types of work. Can you tell us a little bit about your background? What brought you to the world of writing?
Well, let's see. I started out when I was 18. I went to the police academy in St. Augustine.
Wow.
And when it was still over at the Votech Center.
Right.
And then I moved back to New Jersey, my hometown, and did some store detective work and firefighting for a couple of years. So that was real exciting. Then I've gone into many other things besides starting a family. I done some pharmacy technician work, some medical assisting work, worked at the Limelight Theater for a year. Wonderful, wonderful group there.
Yeah.
That was very exciting.
We're big fans.
And yes, and at the courthouse as a deputy clerk, in which I met some really interesting people there.
Is there some link between perhaps things like law enforcement, which is something you started out in, and science fiction? Am I inferring too much, or is there some undertone there?
Well, if you do Space Cop, no, but probably the excitement, the interest in it, everything constantly evolving and changing. It was, as a kid, I was like, I want to be a scientist. No, I want to be an astronaut. No, I want to be a cop and investigator. So I've my interests are very varied, so it helps with the writing, though.
So you found that it was time to sit down and start writing.
I did. It was about 3 years ago I decided to take it seriously and focus on short stories, and I started to get them published. So after about 2 years of getting a lot of short stories published, I put them all in one book called Stranded. So these are a collection of all the short stories. Some of them are considered flash fiction, which they're under 1,000 words or under 500 words, real easy to read. Some of them are real quirky. Some of them are sci-fi, some are thrillers, various genres, all very entertaining. Some are just plain silly.
Yeah, and you're on Amazon.com.
I am on Amazon.com. My books are found on BarnesandNoble.com, and there's actually this wonderful bookstore online called KimBooks.com. Has nothing to do with me, but it's just for promoting reading. And so they sell all of their books at basically cost what they purchase them, so you can save a lot of money ordering through them.
Wow. What inspires you to write, and specifically, what inspired The Family Bones?
The Family Bones started as a short story, and it was going to be a horror story, but I kind of shelved it for a few months and then pulled it back out, and it evolved into something completely different. And I've had a blast creating the characters, and there's 2 children involved in the story, a little boy and a little girl, Tara and Stephen Weaver's children. And I make sure not to forget about them during the story. There's a lot of intense moments with the children as well. Everybody gets separated at one point, but there's not that, when you're watching a movie and you're like, well, where are the kids during all this? So you don't have to go through that, because I let you know eventually where they are and what's going on, and they play a key role in the storyline. So it's exciting. There's a lot of twists and turns what this family goes through, and some buried secrets that come out that are shocking to the readers even.
Where does it take place? Where's the story taking place?
In the town of Astral, Pennsylvania, and it is a real town.
A real town.
Googled it. I looked on Google Earth and zoomed in, and there was nothing there.
I'm sure our viewers will do the same now.
They'll do it. Look on Google Earth, and then I even Googled Astral, Pennsylvania, and it was originally titled, originally published as a serial under Astral Planes was the original title at silverthought.com. So you can actually catch the first 3 to 4 chapters online. And I've actually got the ebook loaded online at goodbooks.com for free. So if anybody wants to check it out and see if it's something they'd be interested in, alongside of the reviews that you'll read. But I'm dying to visit Astral myself because it looks kind of creepy. No offense to the Astral people.
No letters from the Astral people.
We love you. Yeah, and when people read your work and if there's scary things, I remember my husband coming out one morning and he had this really disturbed look on his face after reading one of the chapters. And I looked at him and he said, "Evil woman." And I went, "What?" He goes, "That came out of your head." So it's a little, you're revealing yourself. And,
oh, sure.
You know, I'm not a killer. In some of my short stories, I didn't realize that I tend to kill people.
So we learned something about maybe in this process, this creative process, some disturbing or dark secrets about ourselves. Is that safe to say? Huh?
I don't know. Just those things that we usually don't share with others.
But you got to in the book.
Yeah,
huh?
you have to. You kind of got to get over that. So.
You say you read it aloud to the family, and you have sometimes the family read aloud as well, or to edit your work. Do they ever recognize themselves in your work and get upset about it?
My daughter will get upset. She'll be shocked. And, she was reading one recently, and it was a horror short story that hasn't been published yet. And she was reading, and her eyes bulged out, and she went, "Mom, that's me!" And I said, "But I changed the name." I said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you off or anything."
Or have you do anything too despicable?
Really, really bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to my website, www.familybones.net, and I have my video trailers there that you'll probably see during this interview.
Right.
And other interviews that I've had, appearances, and just lots of little things. And if you're interested in a reviewer copy, you can contact me through the website.
So people can check out your websites to
Absolutely.
learn more and keep abreast of all the work as it's being developed.
That's true.
Fantastic. Well, gosh, Kimberly Razor, thank you for coming
Thank
on
you. It's been a
Airborne
lot
and
of fun.
sharing us a little bit about the creative process and writing and that sort of thing. I'm sure you've inspired some of our viewers.
I hope so. Hey, everybody.
And thanks again. You've been Airborne with Matt Jeffs on staugustine.com and 88.5 FM, bringing interesting people from your world so you can stay dialed into your community and the folks who make it tick. See you next time, everybody.